Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Glacial Geek Killteam Battle Report. I am Phil, the Glacial Geek, coming to you here from Savannah Lion Games in Pooler, Georgia, where I'll be fighting a Killteam game between my Genestealer Cult and Jason's Blood Angels using the Astartes rules. So the story that we've got going on here is that the Blood Angels came down to this planet to take care of a problem that had been occurring. They thought that it was just a rebellion against the Imperium that had been occurring on this planet. So the planetary governor had called in for assistance, and the Blood Angels happened to be in the system. So they came to help them out. And when they arrived, though, they realized that they were in a bit over their heads and found themselves in a Genestealer Cult uprising. So that's what we're going to be on here. We have a squad that is making its way through an area with a bunch of containers, so maybe a shipping yard or something like that, and they found themselves face to face with a bunch of Genestealer Cult that are rising up from the ashes and coming up to try to take them down. So we are going to be playing Take and Capture. Was that the name of the mission? Take no prisoners, but we are going to be taking prisoners. So essentially, we have the deployment zones are in each of the corners over here with a 6-inch bubble in the middle. And what happens is you gain a victory point if you kill an enemy model within if you're within 1 inch of an enemy model that's removed from play. You score a victory point. If it happens to be the leader, you score 3 victory points. So it should be a pretty brutal game. We'll see how that goes. It should be pretty good. So that is the mission, and that is the story that we're going to be playing here today. Before we go any further, let's show you the 2 kill teams. So for the Genestealer Cult, my kill team would consist of an Acolyte leader as my leader. He is armed with an auto pistol, cultist knife, and rending claw. We then have an Acolyte fighter with a heavy rock saw who will have the Zealot specialty. I have 3 neophytes with autoguns. I have a neophyte gunner with a mining laser. I also have a neophyte gunner with a seismic cannon and the heavy specialty. I have an aberrant with a power hammer, a neophyte gunner with a Weber, and 2 pure strain Genestealers, one of which has the combat specialist. And for the Blood Angels, he'll be running 2 intercessors with bolt rifles. We have a tactical marine with a bolt gun, 2 intercessor gunners with bolt rifles and auxiliary grenade launchers, a scout sergeant with a bolter, and a scout gunner with a heavy bolter. One of the intercessor gunners is going to have a comm specialty. The other will have demolition specialty. The scout gunner is going to have the sniper special rule, and the leader will be his sergeant. All right, going over deployment here for the Genestealer Cult, we have my pure strain Genestealer over here. This is the one with the combat specialist. We have the 2 of the neophytes with autoguns here. We have a neophyte gunner with the Weber right there. In the building here, we have the 3rd neophyte with the autogun, and we have a neophyte gunner with the mining laser. Down below here, we have the neophyte gunner with the seismic cannon. We have the acolyte hybrid leader over here, as well as the acolyte hybrid fighter with the heavy rock saw. We have an aberrant with the power hammer, and we have the other pure strain Genestealer on the side over here. Going over deployment now for the Blood Angels, we have his tactical marine over here. We have a intercessor with the bolt gun here, intercessor with the bolt gun up here. Up at the top, we have his scout sergeant. We have in the building back over here, we have the intercessor. This is the comms one. We then have over on this side, we have the intercessor with the what does he have? The demolitions, and we have the sniper heavy bolter in the front over there. So that is it for deployment. I am going to be going first, but before then, Genestealer Cult have an interesting rule for most of their units, except for the pure strains. What I do is I roll a d6 for each of the models after deployment, but before the first turn begins, which is right now. And on a 5+, that model can move an additional 6 inches, and that's just what they do. So that's their version of Cult Ambush here in Killteam, which is pretty fun and exciting. So the pure strains don't get it because they're just the base rules for the Tyranids, so they don't get it from that. But the other guys do. So we're going to go with the neophyte on the back over here. Will be going. Then we have the neophyte next to him. Is not going to be going. The neophyte with the Weber is not going to be going. The neophyte back in here with the seismic cannon is going to be moving. We've got the Acolyte fighter with the heavy rock saw is not going to be, and the leader is going to be, and we have the Aberrant over there is also going to be. So I will move them, and we will come back to you after movement phase for the Genestealer Cult here on turn 1. All right, movement phase for the Genestealer Cult. These two guys back here readied themselves, as did this neophyte down here. My Pure Strain over here moved around this way. My Weber guy moved up over here. This neophyte moved up over here. This the neophyte with the seismic cannon, he readied himself because he moved up during the cult ambush phase. This Pure Strain over here moved up over this way. These guys back over here moved up here, except for the with the heavy rock saw, he advanced. The leader moved up, and my Aberrant is going to finish off our move phase with a charge into his intercessor over here. So he will fire Overwatch looking for 6s. Not getting anything there, so his charge distance is going to be in. All right, movement for the Blood Angels here. His Tactical Marine down here readied himself. So did the Intercessor. So did this Intercessor. So did his leader. His Heavy Bolter guy moved up a floor so you can get a better angle. And then his other Intercessor over here readied himself, and this Intercessor is in combat. So that's it for the movement phase. We'll come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, so starting off the shooting phase, we're going to start with my Seismic Cannon bro. He's going to fire into his Intercessor here and there. He is going to use the shortwave, which is heavy 2, strength 6, AP -1, 2 damage. But the problem is that it's a 12-inch range on that one versus 24 for the long range. So I was debating about which one to use because I'd be in half range for the long range, but not half range for the short range. So I'm going to be at -2 to hit because of obscured, and not in half range with 2 shots looking for 6s. The other one would be more hits, but it would be less chance of wounding. So here we go. Looking for 6s. 2 shots, looking for 6s. Show me them, Phil faces! Nope, not getting either. All right, so this comms specialist over here is now, this is a demolition specialist, is going to fire into my mining laser dude bro over here. So he's got -1 to hit because of obscured, -1 to hit because he's not at half range, but because he's the demolitions expert, he gets +1 to hit an enemy that is obscured. So he's going to be hitting on 4s. He's going to use the crack grenade here. So hitting on 4s, no hit. All right, my opponent's going to spend a command point to re-roll that one. So looking for a 4 again. That is a hit. Strength 6, so looking for a, one second. Yep, looking for a 2. That is a wound. AP -1, so he's going to have a 6-up save. Show me that Phil first. No, goes through. So the wound roll here is going to be, it's D3 wounds. That's right, D3 wounds. So 1 wound. This is going to be -1 because he's obscured over there. So he's still out of action. All right, so my neophyte over here is going to fire into his intercessor. I've got 2 shots because he's in rapid fire range. He's going to be hitting on 4s. That is 2 hits. Strength 3, so looking for 5s to wound. Not getting anything. All right, so his comms intercessor over there is going to fire into my neophyte up in the building over here. So he's going to be -1 to hit because of distance and -1 to hit because of obscured. So he's looking for a 5. No hit. All right, so now this guy here is going to shoot into his scout leader up here. So he's going to have 1 shot hitting on a 6 because he's obscured and out of half range. Nope. All right, so now his tactical marine here is going to shoot into my Genestealer. He is in half range, so 2 shots hitting on 4s because he's obscured. Getting 2 hits, looking for 4s to wound. Getting 2 wounds, looking for 5-up invul saves. Not making either of those, so 1 wound each, so that's going to be 2 wounds. So nope, he is taking 2 flesh wounds. Now this intercessor here, because I've got nothing else that is readied, so he's going to go. His intercessor here is going to fire into my neophyte over here. So he's going to have 2 shots because he's in rapid fire range, -1 to hit because of obscuring. So that is 1 hit. That is not a wound. And now his sergeant here is going to fire into that same neophyte over there. So 2 shots hitting on 4s because he's obscured. No hits. All right, so this neophyte hybrid here is going to fire into his scout sergeant up here. So 2 shots hitting on 5s because he's obscured. Getting 1 hit. That is a wound. Regular 4-up armor save. No, fails it. So the wound roll here, he gets plus or -1 to this roll. So looking for a 5 up, and he is out of action. Oh no, so flesh wound. All right, so he actually got hit up here, so we have to see his fall test. On a 2 up, he's good. You barely, but good. All right, so now his heavy bolter guy is going to fire into my Genestealer over here. You can just see him just over the top over there. So he is going to shoot him. He's got -1 to hit because he moved with a heavy weapon, but he's got +1 to hit because the comms is going to give him the +1 to hit. And then he's -1 to hit again because he's obscured. So looking for 4s to hit. Getting 1 hit. I'll reroll 1s because he's got sniper. So that's 2 hits. Strength 5, looking for 3s to wound. Getting 1 wound. He's got a 5 up invul save. No, goes. I'm gonna spend a command point on that one. Oh, nope. So on the wound table here, takes a wound because he's obscured. All right, so now my neophyte with a Weber is gonna shoot into his intercessor over here. It's assault D3. So getting 2 shots. These are going to be hitting on 6s because he's obscured, and he's going to have a -1, and he's not in half range. So this is going to be 2 shots hitting on 6s. Hey, getting 1 hit. Strength 4, toughness 4, looking for a 4. His strength is also 4. Could have used that if it was lower, but doesn't make a difference here. So strength 4, toughness 4, use the lowest. Going to be 4s to wound. That is a wound. AP nothing, so 3 up save. He's good. All right, so that's it for the shooting phase. Into the fight phase, I've got my Aberrant who charged over here. So he's got 2 attacks. He's hitting with a power hammer, so it's going to be -1 to hit. So it's going to be 2 attacks hitting on 4s. So that's going to be 1 hit. Strength 8, so looking for 2s to wound. That is a wound. AP -3, so looking for a 6 up save. No, goes through, so that is 3 damage. So he's going to have, the first one goes through, and then you've got 2 injury rolls here. Whoop. So one's going to be a flesh wound. And a flesh wound. So he takes another 2 flesh wounds. All right, I'm actually going to spend a command point to re-roll that last injury roll into a 3. So he is still going to be with the 2 wounds. So here comes his 2 attacks back, hitting on 4s because he's got 2... he's got 2 flesh wounds. He ignores the first one as because of being star days, and now this one, or transhuman physiology. So he gets 1 hit, looking for a 4 to wound. That is not a wound. And that is it for turn 1. So now we are going to roll off. No one has to take any morale test, no nerve test or anything like that, because I've got 1 guy out, but I can't fail with these guys. So that is going to be that. So now we are going to have... we'll come back to you. Now we're going to do the initiative here. So rolling 2d6 each here. I get the 3. My opponent gets 6, so he will be going first. We'll come back to you after movement phase for the Blood Angels here on turn 2. All right, movement phase for the Blood Angels. He readied, he readied, he readied, he readied, he readied, he readied, and he fell back. So that is going to be it for the movement phase for the Blood Angels. We'll come back to you after movement phase for the Genestealer Cult. All right, movement phase for the Genestealer Cult here on turn 2. He moved down from the building there out to here. He moved up over here. These guys both moved up over here. This guy moved up over this way. He is getting ready for a charge. He's getting ready for charge. He's getting ready for charge. And both those guys in there are getting ready for charges. So we're going to start with charges over here. He is going to charge into his intercessor over here. He cannot charge, so he's looking for an 8-inch charge around the wall there. Not getting it, but I get to re-roll failed charges because of Genestealers being what they are. Even worse. And now this Genestealer is going to charge into both of them. Only the tactical marine can shoot him. So looking for 6s, getting 1. That is a wound. So that's going to be looking for a 5 up invul save. Nope, it's going to go through. So he gets +2 to the roll because of the wounds already on him. No, still another wound there. So he is going to 1 second. All right, he's going to spend a command point to re-roll that. Then he is out of action. All right, so now the guy with the heavy rock saw is going to charge into his intercessor over here. Cannot see him, so I'm going to need an 8-inch charge to get in. Not going to get it. I'm going to... Nope, he's just not in. All right, so now my Aberrant's going to charge into both of these intercessors. So looking for the shots from the one intercessor who can shoot, because he fell back, he doesn't get to shoot. So here comes the intercessors from the first one. Hitting on 6s. No hits there. So I need 6 inches to get to the guy up top here. But I will be very happy with just the attacks into him. 6 inches will get him in. And my leader is going to charge into this intercessor over here, looking for a 6-inch charge. And he is, whoa, way in. Where was that for this guy? Oh, whatever. All right, so now his tactical marine is going to start us off in the shooting phase because he's readied into my Weber guy over here. So 2 shots because he's in rapid fire range, hitting on 4s because he's obscured, getting 1 hit, getting no wound. Intercessor is going to shoot into the neophyte over here. 2 shots hitting on 3s, getting 1 hit, getting 1 wound. AP -1, so looking for a 6-up save. Show me that fill first. Oh, no. So the injury roll is out of action. So now the scout sergeant here is going to shoot into my Weber guy.
Via toe.
He's going to be obscured here, so he's getting 2 shots though, hitting on 4s, getting 1 hit. No wound. All right, so his heavy bolter guy here is now going to spend 2 command points for Hellfire rounds. He's going to shoot into my dude bro up here. So he's going to have 1 shot. This is going to be doing, it's going to be hitting on, he didn't move, so it's going to be hitting on 3s.
But I'm going to benefit.
He's going to use the comms guy to benefit here. So this is going to be hitting on 2s. That's a hit. D3 mortal wounds. Going to do 1 mortal wound, so take it on the wound table. Just takes a flesh wound. His intercessor here is going to shoot into my Weber. So it's going to be 2 shots, hitting on 4s. 3s? 1 second. All right, so yes, he's the guy with the demolition, so he's going to have +1, -1, so he's going to be hitting on 3s into him over here. He's going to use the auxiliary grenade launcher here, so this is going to be hitting on a 3. That is a hit. Strength 6, so looking for a 2 to wound. That is a wound. AP -1, so looking for a 6-up. Show me that fill first. No, goes through, so D3 wounds. It's going to be 3 wounds, so 3. Let's see if he's out of action. Yep, he is.
Still on 6.
All right, so now my heavy bro here is going to fire into there because he's my heavy specialist. He doesn't take a minus for moving with the heavy weapon, but he is at -1 because of the flesh wound, and he's at -1 because he's obscured. He's shooting into his dude bro down here. So it's going to be 2 shots at half range, so he's not going to have to worry about the negatives here. So this is going to be 2 shots hitting on 6s. Not getting either. All right, so now my neophyte over here is going to fire into his intercessor over there. I've got 2 shots hitting on 4s. This guy back here is going to shoot into his intercessor in the front there. -2 to hit. That is a hit, though. But that is not a wound. All right, so that's it for the shooting phase. Into the assault phase, we're going to start with my charges here. So we're going to go with the Aberrant first. He's going to be swinging into this intercessor over here. 2 attacks hitting on 4s with the power hammer. So that's going to be 1 hit, wounding on a 2. That is a wound with a fill face. So it's going to be -3, looking for a 6. Oh, and he gets it. And now my leader is going to attack into his intercessor down there with his charge. So he's got 3 attacks base. These are going to be hitting on 3s. That is 3 hits. These are going to be wounding on 4s. He's with the rending claws. Oop, that one's cocked. All right, so he's got 2 wounds here. This one's at AP -4, so that's just going to go straight through. But this one is at AP -1, so he's got a 4-up save for that one. So he's good on that one. And then I've got an attack with the cultist knife. So that is a hit. That is not a wound. So we just have the 1 wound roll from the one that went through there, +2 to the roll because he's got 2 wounds there. What's that? Don't want to roll it. Seriously, don't roll a 1. 2, 4. He is out of action. Ugh. All right, so now his intercessor gets to punch back at my my Aberrant over here. So he's got 2 attacks hitting on 3s. That's 2 hits. Looking for 4s to wound. That is going to be 1 wound. 1. 5-up save. No, so he takes a wound. All right, so that is the end of turn 2 here. I've got some nerve tests to take. We'll see if my seismic guy, I've got 4 guys out of action there, so 4 plus 5 is 9. He's going to be shaken. And then my Genestealer back over there, 4 plus is 9. Ooh, 1 second, let me see if that is. All right, so yeah, he is going to be fine. He's got a leadership of 9. So now we're going to roll to see for initiative here on turn 3. I get a 7. My opponent gets a 9, so he will be going first. We'll come back to you after movement phase for the Blood Angels. All right, Blood Angels movement. Everybody readied except for the one guy who is staying in combat. So that is going to be it for the movement phase for Blood Angels. We'll come back to you after movement phase for the Genestealer Cult. All right, so movement phase for the Genestealer Cult. My neophyte over here readied himself. This neophyte moved up over this way. He is shaken, so he can't move. My heavy rock slog guy is prepping for a charge. My pure strain over there advanced up under here, rolled a 5, so we moved 13 inches. And then my leader over there is prepping for a charge. So we're going to start with my heavy rock slog here, charging into these two guys over here. Getting a 6. Ooh, 1 second. Yeah. All right, so it's not in. I need a 7-inch charge to get in there. So I'm going to roll, spend a command point to re-roll this charge here. So looking for a 7. Still don't get it. And now my leader there is going to charge into his intercessor and his two guys up here. They can't see him. And actually, I'm going to charge into the intercessor there too, just in case, to see what I get on this roll. So I'm going to have his charge distance here. He needs a 7-inch charge to get all the way to the top. We'll see what happens otherwise. 6 inches won't get him up there, but it might get him over here. All right, so he did make it into combat with him down there. So that is going to be it for the movement phase. For the Genestealers, we'll come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, the intercessor here is going to shoot into my neophyte. So he's going to have 2 shots. These are going to be hitting on 4s. Both hits. Both wounds. Looking for 6 ups. Making one of them. So 1 goes through. 1 wound roll. No, flesh wound. He's going to spend a command point to re-roll that into a not flesh wound. So he is out of combat. All right, so he is that shot, but that was my only guy that was readied. So now we're going to move on to his next guy for shooting.
Tactical here.
His tactical marine is going to shoot into my neophyte over here. 2 shots, hitting on 4s because he's obscured. Getting 1 hit. Getting a wound. Not making the save. Flesh, see if he's out of action. He is. So now the sergeant is going to shoot into my seismic cannon guy over here. 2 shots. That's 2 hits. That is no wounds. All right, so now his heavy bolter guy is going to fire into him. He's going to use the comm, so 3 shots hitting on 2s. Rerolling 1s because he's the sniper. Pretty good there, so it's 2 hits. Looking for 3s to wound. That is 2 wounds. 2 AP -1, so looking for 6s. Nope, not getting either of those. Flesh wounds +1, so just don't. And he's out of action. And now he's going to activate this intercessor to shoot his pistol into my aberrant. That is a hit. That is a wound. That is not a save. I'm going to spend a command point to reroll that. That is a save. Woo! All right, so that's it for the shooting phase. Into the fight phase, we start with my charge guy here with my leader. So he's going to attack into his intercessor. 3 base attacks. These are going to be hitting on 3s. So that's going to be 2 hits. Wounding on 4s. Getting 1 wound, AP -1. So looking for a 4 up. No, takes a wound. So let's see if he's out of action. Oop. On a 4 up, he is. Oh no, he just takes the 1 wound. He's got 2 wounds. I forgot, he's an intercessor.
I still have a command.
1 second. And now he has an attack with the cultist knife here. So again, hitting on 3s. That's a hit. Wounding on a 4. That is a wound. The regular 3 up armor save. Ooh, failed that. He's going to spend a command point to re-roll that. No, back into a 2. So now we get to see if he's out of action here. So looking for a 4 up to be out of action. No, so he takes a flesh wound. All right, so now he's going to activate his intercessor into my aberrant over here. So 2 attacks hitting on 3s. That's 2 hits, wounding on 3s. That is 1 wound. 1 5 up save. He's good. All right, so now my aberrant's going to attack back. 2 attacks hitting on 4s. That's 2 hits with fill faces. Wounding on 2s. That is 1 wound. I'm going to spend a command point to re-roll that. All right, so that's 2 wounds. 2 6 up saves. Makes 1, fails 1, so it's going to be 3 damage. So the first one goes through, and then we have 2 wound rolls here. These need to be 4+, and 1 is there, so he's out of action. And now this intercessor gets to attack back into my leader. 2 attacks. He ignores that first thing, but no, 2s are not hits. All right, so that's the end of the turn here. We have his intercessor here has to take a test because he's lost 2 guys so far. So 2 plus 5 is 7. He's good to go. And he has a leadership of 8, so he's going to be fine. I don't have to take any. I spent 1 command point to auto pass the nerve test for my Genestealer down there. But I do have to take a morale test here. So I've got leadership of 9 I'm looking for here. I've got a break test, I should say, because I've lost 7 guys so far. So 7, I have to take 2d6 plus the 7, so my highest leadership. So yeah, I'm looking for like a double 1 here. So we'll see if this works. Nope, does not. So 7 plus 7 is 14. Definitely higher than my highest leadership. So my guys are now officially broken. So we're going to see if they are shaken. So we've got my aberrant over here. So it's 7 plus 5. He is shaken. My leader is not shaken. He's lead 8. And then my Genestealer down there is going to be shaken. So that is not great for me, but we'll see what happens. So let's roll for let's roll to see initiative on the next turn. He gets 10, I get 6, so he will be going first. So we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Blood Angels here on turn 3. And this guy back here he failed. All right, movement phase for the Blood Angels here on turn 3. This intercessor moved up over here so you can get some line of sight onto my guy that's been hiding back over there and failing all his charges all day. And then this tactical marine stood still where he was. This marine actually fell out of combat back over down here. And these guys over here drop down over onto this side. So that is it for the movement phase. We'll come back to you with the movement phase for the Genestealer Cult. All right, so the only thing I can do since my aberrant's shaken, my pure strain is shaken, and so is my dude bro down here. My leader is now going to charge into these 2 guys over here. So here comes Overwatch from the Heavy Bolter first. No hits there, and then from the Sergeant. No hits there, so his charge distance is totally in. All right, so that's it for the movement phase. Into the shooting phase, this tactical guy here who is ready is going to shoot into my aberrant. So 2 shots, hitting on 3s. That's 1 hit.
I'll put comms on him.
1 second. All right, so wounding on 4. No wound there. All right, he's going to spend a command point to reroll that. No wound.
Right.
All right, so now his intercessor here is going to fire into my guy over there. So he's going to have 2 shots hitting on 4s because he's obscured. Getting 1 hit. Wounding on a 3. That is not a wound. All right, so that's it for the shooting phase. Into the fight phase, my leader here is going to attack, put his 3 attacks into the Heavy Bolter guy and the Cultist Knife into his leader there. So the 3 attacks into the Heavy Bolter guy. Looking for 3s, that's 2 hits. Wounding on 4s. That is 1 wound, AP -1, so a 5-up save. No, fails that one. So, see about his things. No, he takes a flesh wound. And now gonna have the Cultist Knife into his leader there. That is a hit. That is not a wound. I'm gonna spend a command point to reroll that. That is a wound. Regular 4-up save. He's good. All right, so he's going to do all his attacks back at the same time here. So we've got 3 attacks coming in here, hitting on 3s. That is 2 hits. Wounding on 3s. That is 1 wound. That is not a save, so looking for the injury rule here. 3, he takes a flesh wound. And my opponent's going to spend a command point to reroll that one. Ooh, into a 3, still only a flesh wound. All right, so that's the end of the turn here on turn 3. So we have a couple morale tests to take here. This guy down here needs to take a nerve test. So he they've lost 2 guys so far, so 2 plus 3 is good to go. And then his Heavy Bolter guy, plus 5 is 7, he's good to go. I'm gonna spend a command point to auto pass with my Genestealer down there, and then I'm going to take a test on my leader. 5 plus, yeah, he's definitely nerved, and then my aberrant is also going to be nerved with 7 plus 3. And then the Rocksaw guy, Be the champion I need. Nope, nope, nope. So everyone is going to be nerfed except for the Genestealer I spent the command point for. So that is it for that. Let's see roll for initiative here on turn 4. 9, I will go first, so I'll come back to you after the movement phase for the Genestealer Cult here on turn 4. All right, so the only thing I can do is have him charge into these two guys over here. So his charge distance, 5 inches, probably get him in. All right, movement phase for the Blood Angels. He is going to ready. These guys are in combat, staying there, and then they are going to stay in combat. So that is it. So we'll come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, so the ready guys, the only one that's going to shoot over here, 2 shots, hitting on 4s. That is 1 hit. Wounding on a 3. That is a wound. AP -1, looking for a 6 up. Show me that, Phil, first. No, the opposite. So here comes the injury roll. Ooh, he's out. All right, so now these two guys are going to shoot their pistols into my leader because my leader is shaken right now, so he can't do anything. So we're going to have the 2 pistols hitting on 3s. That is 1 hit. That is a wound. That is not a save. Oh, I'm going to spend a command point. No, it does not help. So, injury roll +1 because he's got that thing. Ooh, another wound. All right, so my Genestealer is going to start us off in the fight phase. He's going to put 2 attacks into the Intercessor, 1 attack into his regular dude bro here. So the 2 attacks into the Intercessor, hitting on 4s because he's -1 because of that wound, because of the flesh wound. That's 1 hit. Wounding on a 4. That's a 6. That's AP -4, so that's just going to go straight through. So let's see. He's already got 1 flesh wound there, so it's +1 to this roll. And he is out. And now the 1 attack into his tactical marine there. That is not going to be hit because he's -1 because of the wound. All right, so now he's going to activate both of these guys. Since my leader is shaken, he can't attack back, so we're going to have 3 attacks hitting on 3s. That is all hits. Wounding on 4s. That is 2 wounds. 2 5-up saves. Making 1, failing 1. +2 to this roll. If it's a 1, he's alive. No, he is out. And now the tactical marine into my Genestealer. That is a hit. That is a wound. But that is a save. Woo! All right, and that is it for the turn here. He has to take a couple morale tests up here. So we'll do the heavy bolter guy. So he lost 3 plus. Whoa, missed the table there. 2, he is good to go, and then his leader. Ooh, he's failed that one, but re-rolling because of They Shall Know No Fear. Oh, back into a 6. So his fearless leader is shaken. But that is going to be all of that. I auto-fail on my dude bro down here on my Genestealer, but I spent a command point to auto-pass on my Aberrant. So that is the end of turn 4. At the end of turn 4, we roll to see if we go on to a turn 5. So I'll let my opponent roll. On a 3-up, we go on. And we go on, so we'll come back to you with, let's find out the initiative. Okay, 7 to 7, re-roll. 3 to a lot more than 3. So we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Blood Angels here on turn 5. All right, so movement phase for the Blood Angels. His Intercessor down here readied himself. His Tactical Marine fell back out of combat with the Genestealer. His Sergeant can't do anything, and now he's going to charge with his heavy bolter guy into my Aberrant over here. So 2d6 charge. And he's in. All right, so that is it for the movement phase because my guy, the one guy that I can do anything with, is in combat. So now his Intercessor down here is going to start us off with the shooting phase, shooting into my Genestealer. 2 shots, hitting on 3s. That is 1 hit. 1 second. All right, so 1 hit, wounding on a 4. No wound there. All right, so he's going to spend a command point on that one. Yeah, that's a wound. AP -1, 5-up invul save. Oh, he's good with a Phil first. All right, so that's it for the shooting phase. Into the fight phase. He goes first since he charged up here. So he's got his 1 attack hitting on a 3. That's a hit. Ooh, that is a wound. Oh, but that is a save. And now I'm going to attack back here. I've got 2 attacks hitting on 4s. Neither of those hit. I'm going to spend a command point to re-roll one of those. No. All right, my opponent's going to spend two command points on Honor the Chapter to have him attack back. Again, so that's a hit. That is a wound. But that is a save! All right, so we have a couple shock tests to take here. He's got, this guy here is going to have to, he has to take his shock test because he's got the 1 there. So 1 plus, 3 plus 3 is 6. He's good to go. His leader over there looking for a 6 to fail this. No, he's good to go. And I'm going to auto pass with my Genestealer. So that means that my aberrant auto fails. So that is going to be it for the turn here. Let's see if it goes on to the next turn. Looking for a 4-up. It does with a fill face. So we will come back to you after oh no, that's right. Forgot. Initiative. I keep forgetting the initiative. And I will be going first. So we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Genestealers. All right, so my movement's going to have my Genestealer charging into his Tactical Marine here. Overwatch it on 6s. Getting 1. Oh, no. Oh, but that's not a wound. So his charge distance. Yep, that's in. Yeah. All right, movement phase for the Blood Angels. His Intercessor here readied. His Heavy Bolter guy backed out of combat. And then his leader over here readied. So that is it for the movement phase. We will come back to it the shooting phase. All right, the Intercessor is going to fire into my Aberrant over here. He's got 2 shots. Oh, he's going to use the Crack Grenade. No, that's not one of the ones with the auxiliary. So this is going to be 2 shots here, hitting on 4s because he's obscured. So that is 1 hit, but that is not a wound. All right, so he's going to spend a command point to reroll that into a wound. So let's see, 5-up save. Yeah, he's good with a fill face. And now the Sergeant's going to throw a Crack Grenade into him, into my Invincible Aberrant. That is a hit. And that is not a wound. All right, so that is it for the shooting phase. Into the fight phase, we start with my charged Genestealer over here. 3 attacks, hitting on 4s because he's wounded there. Getting 2 hits with fill faces. Looking for 4s to wound. Ooh, I'm going to spend a command point on one of these. Oh, come on. And now he is going to fight back over here with his Tactical Marine. That's a hit. That is a wound. That is not a save, so +1 to this roll. And he's out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the game. And it ends with, surprisingly, a Genestealer Cult victory. I was broken, I was battered, I was bruised. I had 10 of my 11 guys killed. But guess what? I captured a whole bunch of his Intercessors and dragged them down into the lower deep and won the battle for the day for the gods from the void above. So, the 4-armed Emperor comes out victorious. It's all because of him just surviving literally everything. So, you know, when a Space Marine squad goes into combat and they have 3 of their Intercessors captured by the Genestealer Cult, that's a real bad thing. When the Genestealer Cult go into battle and they lose 10 out of 11 guys, that's called Monday. So, so the Genestealer Cult managed to squeak out a victory, and I will take it. Oh man, that goes to show you just got to really learn how to use your different command points, because at the end there, I was auto-failing all of my nerve tests, which was leaving all my guys basically in a perpetual state of shock, and they couldn't do anything. So I had to keep choosing which model I wanted to use that one command point to auto-pass the nerve test to allow them to do anything, allow my army to do anything at the end there, which is kind of crazy, and it worked out in the end. I managed to get the one guy to survive. I will take it. So, I hope you guys have all enjoyed it. I certainly have. I have been Phil, the Glacial Geek, as always. My opponent's been Jason, and until next time, have fun.